20 people you won't believe actually exist. Hello there again, YouTube. Make sure to keep watching till the very end of this video because take my word for it when I say you're gonna want to know about these people you share this planet with. We all have strange people in our lives, from our neighbors to our in-laws to our very own children, like my son and his obsession with angels. But those are mere child's play compared to the true cream of the crop, and that's what we're going to be taking a look at here today on Top 5 Best. So again, stick around to the end of this video, so that way you can self-evaluate yourself and see if you're just as strange as the people you're about to see. Me though, I'm not all that strange because I am your narrator, the ever lovely gentleman T-Rex. Let's begin, shall we? Before we go on though, why not hit that subscribe button right down there? Lets us know you like our videos and lets us have even more motivation to put more videos out. If you have an aunt who is in the Midwest and who also lives and breathes for the grand old party, then here's a photo of her wearing a shirt in favor of everyone's favorite attractive politician, Sarah Palin. Ooh, how much do you think that cost her actually? Both in money and in dignity. I mean, as far as airbrush t-shirts go, they actually got Palin's face pretty spot on for this one. It's honestly not as warped looking as the one I did for my wife where she came out looking like Two-Face from Batman. Who needs a designer jacket when you can slip on a black garbage bag and call it a fashion statement? Look at this dude's face. He looks annoyed that yet another person is taking a photo of him. Like he's in any position to be annoyed with strangers taking photos of him while he walks around with a garbage bag on his head. He could have at least made a poncho out of it and cut out some holes for his arms, but I guess that would make too much sense and defeat the purpose of wearing a bag over your head at that point. Still, at least his head fits perfectly in with the holy cut for himself. Mother-son days are usually sweet, but never this sweet. I can't tell if it's a mom and her kid at an ATM or if two cheetahs have just escaped the zoo, probably looking for Cheetos. Seriously though, come on. That woman thought this was a good idea to go full-blown twinsies with her child out and about in public? What is she pulling money out for? So that way she can go buy more cheetah apparel such as purses, cell phone cases, delicious cheetah sandwiches? Oh no, wait. If you zoom in on the photo, you can see that she already has a cheetah purse. So then I guess she's just taking out money then to give her kid in the future where he has to go to therapy for being mommy's little cheetah boy. Hey, remember planking and how dumb and pointless it was? Well, it's still dumb and pointless now, but not to this guy it wasn't. As this suburban Evel Knievel decided to impress his girlfriend and her kids by climbing up this McDonald's sign and looking like a cool guy for every car that drove by, like, I don't know, the cops. Could you just imagine that 911 phone call? 911, what's your emergency? Not technically an emergency, I guess, but we got a planker on our sign, so you should probably bring some, trank darts and one of those air mattresses for this guy to land on, because after throwing rocks at him, he is not coming down anytime soon. At least with the guy planking on top of the Mickey D sign, he didn't have to worry about getting mauled to death by one of nature's killing machines. But this guy who looks like he's only doing this to win the acceptance of his fraternity brothers doesn't seem to understand that. It'd be one thing, I guess, if there was just one tiger, but look at the other one eyeing him up, kinda like a delicious meal. I don't know what made this man think this was a good idea, but really I'd be more interested in how he got off that thing without poking it in the ribs and causing it to go ballistic and earning him a Darwin Award. You know, this may come as a shocker to a lot of people, but the FDA exists for a reason, so that we don't get each other sick by the food we eat. So right to that point, this lady here is in violation of who knows how many health codes as she's just casually taking what I guess has to be a seductive photo for someone. Like, that's your standard, huh there, sweetie? You wanna feel loved so badly that you'll sit on some cheese at a grocery store and snap a photo for your Tinder profile? That's okay, my Tinder profile that my wife doesn't know about just has some Photoshop pictures of me with Pauly Shore, so trust me, I get it. Just stop before you think about this photo for a second longer and look in the background, mister. What do you see? Cars, right? Break it down even further, and they're just things with wheels that can move you around, correct? So why didn't this lady who seems like she's walking to one of these cars just not drive up and put her computer monitor into it instead of dragging it along like some sort of a disobedient child, as it were? I mean, the thing's a CRT monitor anyways. Maybe she's just putting it out of its misery by dragging it along to look at the world one last time before she throws it in a dumpster, as she rightfully should. I can't tell if this woman is wearing Wookiee fur or a bunch of tribbles from Star Trek. Either way, she can never complain about being cold ever when she's got that bad boy on, because if she does, then she needs to go see a medical professional for anemia. One thing about this photo is that it doesn't seem like it'd be very easy to find your phone or wallet, and things could get easily lost. Ah crap, what fur did I put my car keys in again? I hear them jingling, but this thing's so thick I can't actually feel them anywhere. Well, okay then. When they they told this person when she was a kid to be whatever you want, did they envision her one day becoming a cat? I like her sassy reply to the question of what it's like to be a cat. First of all, what moron asked her that, and second of all, she clearly was a human before a cat because no one just comes out of birth meowing instead of crying, so she's kinda lying with her answer there. However, at the end of the day, let a person be whatever they want, because if it's not directly impacting your life, then why should you care? Now, if you excuse me, I have to go plug myself in charge, as I'm not a human, but rather an obsolete iPhone S4, and things aren't looking too good for me. Just why? You're on a wheelchair. It looks like this isn't your first go-around on a wheelchair, and yet you think you can ride up an escalator all hunky-dory. Why? Are you an idiot? What an abysmal idiot this lady is. Oh, is she trying to recreate the experience of going up a lift hill on a roller coaster or something? To add insult to injury, literally, when she falls backwards, the poor thing keeps falling back and back and back again until the dude in red comes down, but then he can't do anything because her stupid wheelchair is in the way. I mean, I should feel bad for laughing, but I'm not, because this lady totally did this to herself. Ooh, whatever this woman put in her hair, don't ever sell it to me because she looks possessed. I mean, for God's sakes, look at that thing. It looks like it weighs over 10 pounds and controlling the mind of the woman that it's sitting on top of. I can only imagine what her bathroom smells like after she puts who knows what onto that mop on top of her head. Those eyes, though. She must be as shocked as I am to realize that the score of the baseball game she's at is 120-0. Okay, I can't look at this anymore. It's too uncomfortable. Accused of threatening to kill the president and dang well proud of it. Usually when you hear about someone like this on the news, you expect the person to look like they have some malicious intent behind them. Not this lady, though. She looks like she just got done wiggling her finger at the cameraman while moving her head left and right. Also, what was your game plan here, lady? You honestly expect me to believe that a person like you poses a threat to the leader of the free world? I would have loved to have heard what her plan was. And also, why she threatened the president's wife? Usually when a person does that, they're either an edgelord basement dweller or an angry revolutionary with too much free time. Not some angry woman from the suburbs. Okay, I know what you're thinking, and the answer is no, that isn't my son. But I can see why you'd think that. Usually when we dress up as animals for Halloween, people tend to spring for the whole costume, or at the very least, just a mask. And also, it is never scary. But for this trick-or-treater on a budget, he just gutted out the insides of his stuffed koala doll like Buffalo Bill from The Silence of the Lambs and cut out holes in its stomach and put it on his head. You know what, I take back what I said. This was one terrifying Halloween mask when you put that into context. This guy ever shows up on your doorstep, you lock your door and call 911 and hide all of your stuffed animals, including Mr. Wiggles. So one of two things are going on here. Either this particular Burger King doesn't know it's supposed to be a fast food joint, or this woman is incredibly lazy. I'll take my chances and bet that it's the restaurant's fault and that she had a pinched sciatic nerve. I mean, no one's that lazy in America. Am I right? What we got here is photographic evidence of a parent not telling their child that they have the wrong dreams and inspirations. It's either one or the other, Billy. Be a horse jockey or a model for McDonald's. Well, that kid took that idea and made it into the best of both worlds, clearly. You also know what this photo is a photo of? Proof of a point in time when this kid's life went downhill forever. Kinda like when my new dad grounded me while my own son gets to go out tonight. I mean, don't get me wrong, this is an impressive get-up we're looking at here. It just comes at the cost of this child's dignity and self-worth. I know they say a picture is worth 1,000 words, but I just have one question. What did this cowman do that warranted him to get arrested? There's no way the cops who booked him did so while keeping a straight face. Could you? Honestly, in the comments, could you? I mean, if this isn't hitting rock bottom, then I don't know what's worse than this form of humiliation. Also, why are the udders rubber? What kind of party was this dude at that the cops had to bust it up and arrest him? What other animals got arrested that night? A horse and a few chickens too? Blink once. Blink twice. Go ahead and blink 3 times if you want. It's not going to change the fact that you're looking at a photo of a teenage dude that took his Xbox 360 with him as his prom date. You have the pleasure to exist at the same time as a man who brought his video game console to his school dance as his date. So while everyone else was slow dancing with their partner, looking into their eyes, gazing lovingly at their partner, this guy was cradling his Xbox in his arms on the dance floor and telling it how much he loves it. I mean, that is until he turns it off and cheats on it with his dad's PS3. What a sleazebag. You know, you do realize you have hands, am I right? The very things you're using to hold the chopsticks up to eat that hot slice of pizza? Here's an idea, guy. If that thing's that hot, maybe, I don't know, let it cool off for a minute or two before you eat it. If this was my kid, I'd ground him for at least not using a knife and fork to cut that thing up before eating. Also, this looks like it was taken at a college cafeteria, which means that whatever education this guy is paying for isn't working at all for him if he thinks eating pizza with chopsticks instead of his hands is the way to go. And finally, speaking of eating in public, Alright, I saved the best for last, but first I have a quick challenge that only takes 5 seconds to complete. So if you can leave a like and subscribe within the next 5 seconds, you'll get 10 years of amazing luck. Just give it a try, it really works. Who needs an iPod and a free arm when you can just bust out the old boombox and carry it around with you all day? And listen using those old felt headphones as well. I mean, kudos to this dude for not giving a flying care about everyone who is clearly looking at him while he gets his food at this buffet. But I mean, aside from all the obvious questions, what's the battery life like on that boombox? I hope for his sake it's pretty dank, because I can't imagine the annoyance of carrying that thing around to listen to NPR only for it to die just as I'm about to sit down and eat my first dish. That girl standing behind him is looking at him like she has no idea what it is he's carrying around. Feeling old yet? Cause I am. Anyway, that's it for this list. Like I always say, if you did make it this far, be sure to hit us up in the comments below, as we always try to respond or just say what's up. Also, don't forget to drop a like down below, because we're top 5 best, and thanks for watching, guys. See you around next time.